Okay, again, I set the second premolar in the same way, where I heat up the wax, make a ball, put it out of occlusion, and then press it down. Now with this one, I want to make sure that everything lines up. These things should be straight up and down. This one should be straight up and down as well. And it's the same concept. I want to look here and make sure that it's socked in, that cusp is in occlusion. Before I do that, from balling it up and putting it on, when you get it in about the right position, make sure you lute it down again. I've already done that. Luted it down and let it cool. But now I'm just trying to sock it into position. So I want to make sure that it's in the correct place. So I'm basically just pushing it, gently coaxing it and pushing it up into where it should be. So with this touching, and you want to see when things are in centric correctly, you should see a nice even space here. It should just be nice and even. And I think that this one might be a little bit out of position, but it shouldn't be. You should see a space too. Your teeth shouldn't be resting all the way up against this edge so that you don't see any space in there. Basically, the ideal thing that you want is this cusp tip here touching the marginal ridge area here. Another thing you want to be sure of is when you're doing this is you want to make sure that your occlusal surfaces are completely free of wax, because that's going to mess up your contacts and your centrics. You don't have any wax on the cusp tips or in the central fossas or grooves or marginal ridges or anywhere. So we get in position, we check both buccal and lingual, and so if that's not fully socked in, and another thing is when you're socking these into place and this wax is cooled down, you want to take it from underneath. You don't just want to go right underneath the tooth, because you can just knock the tooth right off. If you take underneath and grab some wax and then push up a little bit, it gives something for the tooth to kind of still stick onto, and you can move it like that. So I just pushed it in, socked it in, double checking facial, making sure it looks good. Everything looks socked in, looks good. See, now I have a hole there and everything, so I want to re-lute it down, especially when you push in a hole. I usually just get a little bit of wax on the wax spatula and try to fill in the hole with wax, and then smooth it out. You want to have support on your teeth. See how this one's kind of chunked out? I want to make sure I put a little bit more wax there, because the less wax I have right there, the greater chance I have this thing it's going to move when I'm testing excursives. So I want to make sure that it's luted down and pretty solid.